y'all, hey, we are back for the second half of season 4 of All the Queen's Men. Now, y'all know I gotta give a caveat. We're on season 4, episode 13, right? I didn't even get the name. That's how far I am off of my square when it comes to this thing. However, y'all know it kind of comes back and there's not a whole lot of hoopla, in my opinion, not a lot of commercial, and I always miss it. They always drop the 2 episodes when it comes back and maybe 2 more after that. Like, it's a whole lot of. And if you go back to the other video for sisters, you know child life has been kicking a hole in my ass. So I'm here. I'm back and I'm going to do the best that I can to stay on track, to finish out the season. My bad, shawty. My bad. All right, so I'm going to try to get us spun up. We know that Madam is on trial for her accused crime. People and witnesses are dropping like flies. She getting them on up out of there. Madam is suspicious of Blue, even though Blue is at therapy. The end of this episode lets me know that I was on Blue's side and I was like, oh, she's innocent. She's just going to therapy trying to get her mind right. But she started talking too much, and that could be a loyalty problem for Madam. And I would hate for her to have to take Blue off the earth, because that's been her ride or die for umpteenth years. But girl, you talking too much and anybody can be a witness. All right. Blue has gotten arrested for sexual assault, even though it was a fantasy of the ladies and she set him up. The lady was obsessed with being in a relationship with him, so now he has to deal with that as well. Not Blue, I'm sorry. Midnight got arrested for SA. All right, so we jump back in. Like I said, we're in episode 13. I don't even have the title. My bad. Madam is getting ready to head back to trial, and somebody comes walking in her front door, and it's her dad. Of course, he had to come out of hiding to support his baby girl from afar for as much as he could. And he's also there to remind her of who she is. Like, girl, you are my seed, a fruit of my loin. We need to go ahead and boss up. You got these people by the balls. They just scrambling for evidence. I need you to close the deal so we can keep moving. And of course, Carla rolls up as well. Don't know how she knew that man was over there, but she walked in these people's house with no invitation. And he asked them about Tony, and they both looking at each other and looking at him like, what about her? Mind you, Tony's the sister that sold him up the river and the reason why he's in this legal battle. And they're not with it. They don't care to hear about Tony Childs, no Tony the Tiger. We don't want nothing to do with it. And he tells them, like, it stops today. I want y'all to start getting along and start acting like sisters. And okay, yeah, yep, I hear that. Sure. But I got a question for you. Why would you give her Maddie B's? Like, she ain't been here. She's the reason you ended up in jail or whatever the circumstances were. And he's like, listen, I had my reasons. He did not say what those reasons were. I would have liked to know what those reasons are. But we didn't get the information. Either way, he says what he has to say. He says his goodbye and he gets on up out of there. And the sisters looked at each other like, girl, Barry the hatchet and then the hoe's back. Like, that's the only way I'm getting over it. And the way the scheme is going, I wouldn't be forgiving her either, because she's still scheming and plotting upon her return. So, good call in my opinion. All right, so Midnight, Doc, Babyface, Fuego, Amp, Dime, and Tommy are put on the stand to testify, attest to Madam's character and who she is as a person and what they know about anything. And they're giving glowing testimonies about who she is as an employer, as a person. She's amazing, blah, blah, blah. As instructed, as they've been prepped to do. Meanwhile, we see Quincy. Quincy has pretty much done all but stolen Tandy from Babyface. Since you want to be a nasty deadbeat, all I asked you to do was be my father. Like, why you always on the road? Let me know if you know where that quote is from. And so, if in another episode, Quincy and Babyface got into a fight, and Quincy like punched him in the knee, kicked him in the knee or something. Well, he's an elder performer, and that knee has been acting crazy since. He can't perform. He's having trouble doing the routines, and so Quincy's kind of like pushing him into the back burner, like making the most money at the club, like really showing him like, hey, I don't really need you to be my father. Like, what are you talking about? Like, I was just giving you opportunity, but since you want to be nasty about it, I'm gonna take all you got. Just giving that type of revenge, and I'm not mad about it. This Babyface. I don't really like him that much. Okay. Trouble takes a stand. And as she's giving the testimony, Madam accidentally spills coffee on her, well, accidentally, quote unquote, spills coffee on herself. And that allows her a 5-minute recess so that she can go outside and get herself together. And of course she goes to Smoke, which is her hired hitman, and tells him to get rid of Trouble before she could even finish a word of her testimony. And he's like, all right, cool, I'll get creative. So he got to do this in the gallery with this court full of people. Like, you got to get it done and get it done discreetly. So we're back, and DA Rods is rapid firing questions. She's rapid firing questions at Trouble, and Trouble suddenly has memory loss. She was like, you said something about Madam and her loyalty. What does that mean? Like, what do you mean you haven't proved yourself? And she's like, Trouble's like, what are you talking about? And she's like, don't get cute on the stand, girl. What are you talking about? And she says, I don't know nothing about no crimes. I don't know nothing about buying nobody's loyalty. I don't know nothing about setting up no unalivings. I don't know nothing about nothing, Ashley. Actually, we can stop talking. And so DA Rods, she pulls out the affidavit, the written affidavit, and typed affidavit, I'm sure, and asks Trouble, like, hey, you said she orchestrated all these killings and everything else on this affidavit. So which one is the truth and which one is the lie? And she was like, oh, since you asked, DA Davis, that hoe paid me money to lie on Madam, and Detective Davis is losing her shit. She was like, you lying piece of crap. And so Trouble might have sat down and got her head on straight and was like, you know what? I don't really want this lady to take me off the map. Not only that, Smoke tried to blow her up in the hotel room, maybe the night before, and maybe that gave her some act right, and she thought about her morality, and she figured, you know what, it ain't really worth it. It ain't really gonna be worth it, my boy. So I'm gonna go ahead and stick with the devil I know. I think she had to change her heart after that failed attempt. Either way, we see Detective Davis, and she is basically accosting Trouble outside of the courtroom, and she's like, okay, cool, perjury is a crime and I'm about to lock your ass up. Like, she mad because she got played. And I don't know if Trouble had been thinking to play her the whole time, or if, like I said, that failed attempt changed her motives and got her on track. Either way, we're good to go. Like, it was so close that Smoke walked into there with his blow dart gun, and he was about to get her up out of there, and Madam had to look at him, make eye contact, and was like, we good. Hold fire. Ceasefire. So, spare yet again. Okay. Blue tells the therapist, I don't know when she first told her, but we're picking up on the conversation. And the therapist's like, okay, well, you told me that you had to unalive your girlfriend, Kat. Was that in service to your boss? And she was like, no, she was becoming a problem for my boss. So I took the initiative and I did it. And she's like, oh, so your boss told you to do it? And she's like, no, you put words in my mouth and I did not say that. What I said is I decided to do it, take matters into my own hands to do what I needed to do because it's a loyalty thing. It's a loyalty thing. I got to do what I got to do to protect my boss. Now, the lady's asking very, very much witness stand type of leading questions, and that is definitely going to come back to bite Blue. I think she's just there to get a sound mind, which, if you know that Madam buys everybody or gets evidence on everybody and blackmails them into being on payroll, like Lovett, the lawyer, she probably has something on him which is forcing him to be indebted to her and to work with him, like she's done to other people throughout the seasons, right? Go to Madam, right, and be like, hey, I think I need a therapist so I can talk this out. Can we get a therapist on payroll that I know now is not going to become a witness, so I can get this out of my mind, so I can get my mind back right, so I can be of service to you? That's just my thought process, but it didn't work out that way. But I just feel like that lady's going to be a witness, or she's going to be a pain at some point. Either way, Madam goes to a barber named Jamal. He was selling some of the stuff that was stolen in an earlier robbery at the club, and she's there to get more information about who robbed the club the other night and what happened. And child, all she had to do was really point the gun at his head, and he gave it up quick. Nope, that was 2 girls on 5th and Russell, and it's over there by the Little Johns and the Little Caesar Pizza. Yeah, I'm out of it. And she was like, you didn't even make me work for the information. Like, you gave it up so quick, you little stool pigeon. And proceeds to shoot this man in the leg for giving up the intel too fast. She was like, next time, make me work for it, or make the people work for it. Just crazy. Just crazy as hell. All right. Madam thanks the guys for their performances on the stand. Like, hey, appreciate your loyalty, appreciate you holding everything down. And as a reward, here was your new fluffer. Congratulations. After the way that the last one went out, I would want another one, but these are horny men, child. They don't give a damn. Like, what are we getting out of this? All right. Trouble and the lawyer come to see Madam, and Madam again thanks her for her loyalty, and all this good stuff. Also, she puts her lawyer on Trouble's legal matters, I guess, you know, as a repayment to her for her loyalty there on the stand. And she's back in Madam's good graces for now, but Trouble always does something. It won't last that long. It's Trouble. She earned her name, obviously. And so I guess they're good for now. All right, so Doc walks in, well, overhears. He was going into Maddie B's, the restaurant, and he kind of saw those two huddled up in the corner, and he just listened. He didn't even go in the store. He was like, this ain't logical. And he walks in on Tony, you know, Tony the sister, and Gene, the big fat man that's trying to take Madam down, either in court or by stealing everything from up under her. He's trying to attack her from all angles. And he sees that these two are working together, talking about a plot on how to take Ian from Madam. Good move that he caught them, because now she can kind of know where Tony stands. And well, Gene was a witness on the stand. She just distracted him by lifting that skirt up a few more inches, child. He couldn't really get his testimony together, but yeah. So I'm sure Doc's gonna take that back to Madam, and we gonna have to do something to get rid of this little problem. Okay, Madam is able to find the white ladies that robbed her club, and she, you know, of course they're torturing them. And they're like, hey, do we need to do this the easy way or the hard way? They took the hard way. So everybody's kind of getting poked and unalive with a nail gun, like real creative. Anyway, they finally admit that Gene hired them to rob the club, literally just to do it. Like, hey, I'll pay you and you get to keep what you stole. But he gave up the floor plan and her delivery schedule. I guess just to piss her off, honestly. Like, there was no real benefit to Gene, but here we are. All right, so now we are off. Madam leaves, and she's like, hey, you need to call Gene and tell him to meet you somewhere. And she's like, oh, okay. He's at Maddie B's right now. She was like, okay, cool. Thank you for your services. Shot in the foot with the nail gun. And now we're off to get Gene's ass, because who do you think you're playing with? Okay, all right. And that is how the episode wrapped up. I'm pretty sure Madam's gonna get off, even though she had a dream that Blue was the one that turned on her and turned state's witness. I doubt that that'll happen. But we'll see what happens in the remainder of season 4. Let's talk about it in the comments. Let me know what you think, and we will talk about it there. Like, comment, share, subscribe, or whatever it is that you feel like doing. And I'll see you in the next one. Peace.